Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome to my first reaction to episode 11 of series 2 of Attack on Titan. We have two more episodes left, and I'm very nervous, very scared. Things are ramping up. We know that the Survey Corps are very close at hand, which is kind of leading me to believe that there's going to be like an epic fight scene. I still think Erin's going to get taken away, and the reason for that is in terms of how the story is going, it makes no sense for Eren to be rescued and returned to the walls. It makes more sense that he's carried off and he learns more about the outside world, and that informs his growth as a character, but also informs his journey as the anti-hero figure, because I still believe that he is going to be the anti-hero, that any actions he will commit that are potentially horrible are going to eventually be justified because they serve a greater purpose. I don't know, but that's how I see Eren progressing through, and that is primarily because of everything that he has been subjected to, all the trauma he's been subjected to, all the betrayals he's been subjected to. I think this is leading up to him eventually just saying, "Fuck this, I'm done. I cannot continue like this." All of that is going to culminate as a catalyst for his eventual removal from humanity, or removal from the society that is formulated within the walls. I'm so kind of nervous. Last episode was quite a big information drop. We looked into Ymir's background and how she gained the name Ymir, and that also informed us that though she is named Ymir, she is not the original Ymir, that there were other Emirs before her, and that there could have been an Ymir altogether who founded this religion that is being practiced. We also know that they were executed, and that the Titan we see in Ela's notebook is the same woman that was executed beside Ymir before she went on her 60-year adventure. Not really an adventure, but she was trapped for 60 years in that form. Then she interacted with Annie, Reiner, Bertold, and Marcel, and ate Marcel, but doesn't remember eating Marcel. So we were kind of given a little bit more information into that. Then there was the indication that they don't remember eating people, and then we're kind of then told, okay, Eren doesn't remember eating people, but we've never seen Eren eat people. So that's kind of giving the idea that there's been lapses of time that we have not been privy to, and that we have not seen that take place. So that was really interesting and also very scary. I don't quite know where they're going with that, especially because we know that Ymir spent 60 years as a Titan and her growth slowed down. Also, her Titan form is very different to the Titan forms of Reiner, Bertold, Annie, and Eren. So I'm not quite sure if it's maybe because she's older that her Titan form is more natural looking. She looks more like a Titan than they do because she's more. I don't know if it's like meant to distinguish her age because she looks more naturally like a Titan than they do. It always reminds me of like, you know, like Transformers, and they have like the Transformers turn into like vehicles and things. It's kind of like mech suits, and I'm like, is that what they are? They're more like a mech suit. It's something they can adorn themselves in for like war or battle. Is it something they can design, or is it just based off their body? Can you upgrade them? I don't know. I really don't know, but I guess the more this series goes on, the more my questions will be answered. So I'm not gonna be too stressed about that, because I think part of the fun is having theories and then being proven wrong, or in the case of Reiner being the armored titan, proven right. But I'm really interested just to learn more about what's going to happen with Krista. There's the indication from Reiner's language that they also have a plan for Krista, aka Historia. and that Erin is the seeker or something like that, that Erin has a purpose of finding something that they're looking for, and also Historia has the ability to find that as well, meaning that she knows more than she's actually letting on, or maybe she has abilities that she has not had the opportunity to discover as of yet. Maybe she's repressed them because she's been expected to grow up humble and not connected to her past because the Wallace are watching her. So maybe she has abilities that she has restricted or repressed within her for a reason. And then she just got captured by Emir, and they're all heading somewhere. So without further ado, because I could talk for ages and I kind of just want to like get into this, we're gonna get into episode 11. And I'm very scared. I feel like every episode I'm about to watch genuinely has me on like tenterhooks. Like I have anxiety because I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen now? Oh God, Erwin.
カカン巨人を引き連れたままでいい私についてこいエルヴィンこの悪夢また俺たちをおとりにするつもり
Probably
か
it's Erwin.
そんなつもりはない憲兵団はよく戦っている兵士の本分に努めよう鎧の巨人がエレンを連れて逃げる気だ
Oh, the loyalty that Erwin has to Eren, he's categorically refusing to allow Eren to be captured and used as a pawn in whatever game these people are playing. But I have a soft spot for Erwin. I think it's because he's willing to kind of do what no one else is willing to do. And I started this series as you'll see in my earlier videos, I was very like hardcore on the that is wrong, so therefore everything is wrong. There was no in between for me. Whereas as I've watched, I've become a bit more, yeah, that's understandable. I've begun to understand the nuances of the show and also the concepts of utilitarianism and the morally grey aspects, which means I've begun to have a soft spot for Erwin because I'm beginning to see that he is willing to do what other people only say they will do. You know, he actually puts action behind his words, whereas others will just say what they want to say, but not actually live up to those ideals. But oh God, there's going to be a fight, isn't there? Of course there is. Damn, those horses are fast. But I think they also said that in 2 times 7 that he's not that fast. Oh. They're so sapphic. I love it so much. I ship them both so much. But why? Why does she change her mind?
生まれてこなけりゃよかったのになんていうやつなんかいないしなそりゃ巨人はそんなこと言わないだろうけど、
Okay.
すごい勢いで食べようとしてくるじゃない誰にでも短所の一つや二つはあるだろうそこさえ目をつぶれば割といいやつらなんだよやっぱりあなたはライナーとベルトルトに脅されているのね
It keeps coming back up, this whole nobody will tell you that you're not worth being born. And again, I think it's down to the fact that they must have come before. They must have existed before. Again, I keep saying, I think these, I don't even know what to call them because they don't really see themselves as human. But I think it comes down to the fact that Titan shifters have always been around and that they've been targeted and they've been ridiculed and they've also been kind of cast out. Their history's been erased, their knowledge has been erased, and that those who were fortunate enough to escape are those that live on the outside. But then again, I also have another theory that potentially the walls are a social experiment because we know that Titans are lighter than they appear, which makes them seem like they're created, they're crafted, they're almost like a weapon of mass destruction. And I don't know if the show is delving into European history of like colonialism, genocide, that kind of aspect, because that's a big, huge area of European history throughout time. And I know European history plays like a very core aspect in this show. So I don't know if they're doing the whole somebody takes over from an original king and begins to discriminate and target people that are different and cast them out or commits a genocide against them or a combination of the two. And that's where it's going. Or if it borders more into Japanese history, such as the creation of towns that were used as not necessarily social experiments in Japan's case, but like biological warfare experiments. Like there were towns in China that were isolated, and Japan would drop biological weapons on them and they would keep them kind of isolated to record the events and to like see how they can improve. Part of me is a bit like, is that where they're going with it? Obviously not as dark as, biological chemical weapons, but is it going with the fact that like if it's taking from Japanese history instead of European history, are they drawing on that to say that there's everyone that lives within the walls is unaware that they're a social experiment, that they are basically testing the Titans on them in order to see how humans respond, how they can improve on their weapons going forward in their use on maybe other neighboring kingdoms that they want to conquer. Maybe they're just encased within the walls, and that's why the Titans are within the walls because they've been built by somebody else to trap humanity inside, to see how humanity will respond to their weapons, which are the Titans, and how they can improve on the Titans going forward. Which is why we're seeing the Titans' behaviors change because maybe they're being produced and they're adapting them. We're seeing Titans that can move around at night, whereas we were told beforehand that they could only move in the daytime. So unless that was just unfortunately a misunderstanding on Hanji's part, but that leads me to believe that maybe they're being adapted every time humanity discovers something. Whoever's making these weapons also adapts to Titans going forward. So the Titans always have that edge over humanity. But if that's the case, I don't understand Reiner and Bertold and Emia's and Annie's response and hatred for humanity, unless it's a combination of the two, that they've been forced out of this kingdom, they've been discriminated against, they've been raised to hate people, but then how does the social experiment come into play? I don't know. I confuse myself. I sometimes have ideas and then I start to confuse myself because it doesn't quite make sense, their hatred towards humanity, if it's a social experimentation, unless they've been raised to believe that humans are lesser and humans are evil. But that could be it. But then it wouldn't make sense as to their attack on the walls in order to get inside, to infiltrate, to take it down from the inside. That doesn't make sense unless it's all an elaborate ploy to see how humanity will respond to such a behavioral change. Maybe it's to see if humanity will band together. I honestly don't know at this point.
事情があって話せないことがあっても何があっても私はあなたの味方だから
Oh, she's so ride or die for Emia. I love them both so much. Let's go, lesbians!
見ろよ。調査兵団がすぐそこまで追ってきてる。 ユミル、僕らは何のためにここまでしたんだよ。また気が変わったのか。今度は自分のためにクリスタをこの壁の中に留めるつもりなのか。
ユミル、早くこの手を離して。ダメだ。
That's the most we've heard Bertold speak, I think, in like 2 seasons.
正直言うと、お前をかっさらってきた理由は私が助かるためなんだ。
What?
私は昔こいつらの仲間から巨人の力を盗んだ。こいつらの力は絶対だ。このままじゃ私は殺される。お前が壁の秘密を知るウォール教の重要人物だからだ。私の生まれた家と関係ある？
Oh.
ある。
No, I don't believe that's the only reason that she's doing it to save herself.
お前といれば近い将来保険になると思って。
Maybe it is, but
私は
I don't
あの
know.
塔の戦いで死にかけて、もう心底嫌になったんだ。なんとかして助かりたいって。本当は
I feel like I'm being dropped with information, but I don't fully understand the information that it's giving me.
私を助けてくれ。
It kind of makes sense now why she was so... Does it though? Because the thing is, she's saying, oh, I did it because I needed you as insurance in case they tried to kill me. But how would she have known that unless she knew this was how it was going to go down all along, which she didn't know? So I don't buy that that's the full reason. I don't buy that she only was close to Krista for insurance purposes, because that meant she would have known everything from the get-go, and she didn't know how this was going to play out. It could be that she went back for Historia now that she was siding with Reiner and Bertold as insurance, but prior to that, it doesn't make any sense that she would have just been loyal to Krista and Krista's connection to the Reese family, if not for another purpose beyond insurance and safety.
何があっても私はあなたの味方だって。
Historia, you're a better person than I am, because I'm like, fuck you. Yeah, she's a better person than me. For real, for real. Oh, I'm still thinking Hannes is gonna die this season. I don't think Hannes is making it to season 3. Oh, Mikasa is not holding back, is she? Oh man.
やはり先にユミルを殺さなくては。待ってミカサ。ユミルを殺さないで。どうする？私は邪魔する者を殺すだけ。選んで。待ってよ。私が尊重できる命には限りがある。そしてその相手は6年前から決まっているので、私に情けを求めるのは間違っている。なぜなら今は心の
I love her so much.
クリスタ、あなたはエレンとユミル、どっち？
If she picks Ymir, she's Mikasa's enemy.
動かないで。
God, this music is tense.
そりゃ無理があるぜ、ベルトルト。そいつを怪しつけるなんて不可能だろ。うるさくてしょうがねえやつだよな。よーくわかるぜ。俺もそいつ嫌いだからな。一緒に締めてやろうぜ。
The gang's all back together.
ないな。今までずっと俺たちのこと騙してたのかよ。そんなのひでえよ。
二人とも嘘だって言ってくださいよ。
おいおいおい、お前らこのまま逃げ通す気か？そりゃねえよお前ら。3年間 一つ屋根の下で苦楽を共にした仲じゃねえか。ベルトルト、お前の寝相の悪さは芸術的だったな。いつからかみんなお前が毎朝生み出す作品を楽しみにしてその日の天気を占ったりした。けどよ、お前あんなことした加害者が被害者たちの前でよくぐっすり眠れたもんだな。
Oh, I don't know why I'm getting so emotional. Why am I getting emotional? I think it's listening to the impact that it's had on them, but also the connection that they have established after all these years together, training, fighting. They bonded together in their worst moments, their moments of trauma. And I don't know, I think just hearing like their voices trying to like reconcile and justify what Bertold and Reiner have done and that betrayal that they feel, like, it gets to me. I don't know why it's got to me, but it has. I think when you become so, like, emotionally invested in the show, like, the slightest, like, shift in things completely, like, sets you off, and just the music combined with the voice acting and their, like, sense of betrayal and sadness just has hit me, I think. It seems so silly to cry over this because, like, nothing really has happened. I don't know. I think I'm just quite sentimental, and they're all my babies. So, like, seeing them at odds against one another and seeing them like struggle to understand why Raina and Bertold have betrayed them after already experiencing that with Annie is just really emotionally like heart-wrenching, like, it's hit me. It's hit me in the chest.
どうすりゃみんなで生き残れるか話し合ったのも、おっさんになるまで生きていつかみんなで酒飲もうって話したのも全部
I don't think the music helps. The music makes it more emotional.
なあ、お前らは今まで何考えてたんだ。
一瞬でも躊躇すればもうエレンは取り返せない。こいつらは人類の害、それで十分。
Oh, Bertold.
人なんか殺したいと思うんだ。
By their own choice. So they're being forced to?
こんなことをしたいと思うんだよ。でも僕らは罪を受け入れきれなかった。
Oh, Bertold.
兵士を演じてる間だけは少しだけ楽だった。
Oh, I want to give him a hug so bad.
トギ、ジャン、確かにみんな騙したけど全てが嘘じゃない。本当に仲間だと思ってたよ。誰か僕らを見つけてくれ。
エレンを返して。
He can't.
ダメだ。できない。誰かが自分の手を。
But why? Why are you being forced to do this?
そこから離れろ。信じらんねえ。どういうつもりだ、エルヴィン。巨人を引き連れてきやがった。
Oh, he's murder in his eyes. So, among the Titans, there are those with special powers. The intense high temperature seen with the Colossal Titan and the hardened skin of the Armored Titan are prime examples. It remains unknown how they possess such abilities. Yeah, that's what throws me, is that every Titan is somewhat different to one another, and they all seem to have unique capabilities that nobody else has. Just run in the background.
勝因3回、巨人から距離を取る。
Jeez. Oh god, oh god, oh god.
なんだこりゃ。地獄か。いや、これからだ。
But it will be.
突撃。人類参謀の命運は今この瞬間に決定する。エレンなくして人類がこの地上に生息できる将来など永遠に訪れない。 心臓を捧げよ
逃げさ
Oh my god.
う。奴ら完全にどうかしてるぜ。おい。え？
Ew. Why is it on all fours? I don't like it.
何が起きてるんだ。
I'm scared that the Beast Titan's gonna come back. Because we know that he's outside of the walls. And that music was the same music that played in season 1. Episode 1, when the Beast Titan arrived.
あと少しなんだ。やったぞ。手を離した。
今なら
おいミカサ、周りの巨人が見えねえ
She
のか。
doesn't care.
つか誰かあそこまで行けんのかよ。
進む。エルヴィン団長。進む。エレンはすぐそこだ。進む。
What the fuck? How is he still leading the army whilst being chewed on? What? Oh my god. What a badass ERWIN is. Oh, Jean, my boy, coming in strong.
やっとここまで来たんだ。エレンを連れて帰る。故郷に帰るんだ。アルミン。
Armin's gonna be the voice of reason, maybe, hopefully.
何も捨てることができない人には何も変えることはできないだろう。
進む。
Fucking hell.
何を捨てればいい。
His love for Annie. Oh, they don't know about Annie. Is he gonna use that?
いいの？二人とも仲間を置き去りにしたまま故郷に帰って。
Yeah, because they don't know. And he has a thing for Annie. Bertold.
兄を置いていくの？兄なら今極北のユトピア区の地下深くで。
Oh, you little genius. Armin, I could kiss you.
を聞けばすぐに体の傷は治せても痛みを消すことができないことは分かった。
Oh, he's so clever.
死なないように細心の注意が払われる中、
悪魔の末裔が根絶やしにしてやる。
Ooh. Owen's back. Go, Historia.
ユミルが私を連れてかないとライナーたちに殺されるって言ったの。私を差し出せば許してもらえるって。
なんだそりゃ。ユミルが言ったのか。
そう、だから下ろして。嘘ですよ。そんなん絶対嘘やし、嘘に決まってる。
今さっきお前を助けるために死に物狂いで戦ってたやつがそう言ったのか。
That's what I mean. I think it must be a lie.
ユミルがやる気出す時なんてお前を助ける時だけだぞ。
そうですよ。
She'd go wherever Krista goes. So if Krista goes back, she'll go back.
そんぐらいバカにだってわかるぞ。
Oh god.
ライナーの野郎、
巨人を投げてよこしやがった。
ミカさん。
Those flowers, they keep coming back up. That's the Titan that killed his mom, isn't it? It's the same hairstyle. It fucking is. I knew this was gonna come back up again. I saw the hairstyle. No way! I said that Titan was gonna come back up again because it never died. I saw the hairstyle and was like, that looks familiar. Why does that look familiar? Oh my god. I still have no answers, and we're going into like the final episode of season 2. I don't know how I feel about having no answers right now because I'm more lost and confused than ever. I felt like this episode should have like given me more information, and now I'm like more confused than ever. I feel like it hasn't given me really anything other than the fact that Bertold has said, "Do you think we want to do this?" Which is implying that they're being coerced to do this against their will. I didn't think Emir was being truthful. I agree with Connie that like there's no way that this was all just insurance purposes based on her character development so far. It doesn't make sense. I guess it was just her way of coercing Historia into coming along without fighting and making things already more difficult than what it was. It was just her way of manipulating, because it doesn't matter that Historia is being brought back to the walls, because wherever Historia goes, Ymir is going to follow. If it's Rhino and Bertold that have her, she's going to follow. If it's Connie that has her, she's going to follow. The only reason she wanted to get Historia is because she couldn't fathom an existence without her. She didn't want to be separated from her. So that's the only reason that she refused to go any further. I love my lesbians. I love my lesbian girls. I'm so here for their little sapphic romance. It's great. I love that kind of representation. And I know people are going to be like, they're just friends. You don't do all that for friends. I'm sorry, you don't. Like, there's love there. There is very obviously love there. Also, Erwin, holy man, lost an arm, continued to lead his army without a care in the world, continue to do everything that he could to secure Eren's capture, even going as far as to take over when Mikasa was being rescued by Jean, to secure Eren being recaptured by themselves. Oh, what a man. What a man. What an icon. I love Erwin so, so much. He's so cool. And I think this is like the first time that we've seen him use the ODM gear, because we haven't really seen him fight yet. So I'm hoping we do get some fight scenes of Erwin soon, because it would be really, really cool. And I want more fight scenes of Levi at some point, because we see Levi being really, really powerful and goes above and beyond. And I want to see more of him, especially because what we did see when he was fighting Annie with Mikasa was like so cool. This whole episode is just insane. I honestly thought the Beast Titan was going to show up again, because the musical notes that played were the exact same as the ones in Series 2, Episode 1, when Mike interacts with the Beast Titan for the first time. I was like, oh, is he going to show up again and give them that like fighting edge over them? I didn't expect to cry this episode, and I think it just comes down to the fact that when you're so emotionally connected with these characters, you can't help but feel the emotions that they're feeling. So when they're saying, was it all a lie? And they're explaining how they felt betrayed, and they're reminiscing about the memories they had with Bertold sleeping in weird positions, it's really hard not to get upset by that and to not feel the same sense of betrayal. And even though I think Bertold and Reiner are not the bad guys that their actions are going to be justified somehow, especially because, again, this has come up twice where, let me find it. Bertold says, people hate and despise us. And again, Annie said the same thing. Emir has said the same thing. So that also means that Bertold's also experienced this. And then you have to ask the question, how have they experienced this if they haven't already interacted with humanity before and humanity has maybe mistreated them to such an extent that they feel that they don't have a choice but to fight back? Which is kind of counteracting my idea that this is a social experiment, and it is also making me lean back towards the warring kingdoms who are using the Titans as weapons, but that still doesn't explain why the Titans are within the walls. But again, I seem to think that the Titans being within the walls comes from the fact that Titan shifters maybe built the kingdoms, maybe resided and existed within, and were cast out. I honestly don't know. I'm so sorry for this really short outro. I just have no concrete ideas as of yet as to what I think the story is doing. I just ramble and hope that something I say kind of sticks, because it feels like I'm trying to build a jigsaw puzzle, but half the pieces are missing and I'm also in the dark. That's genuinely what it feels like, because without all the information, you could theorize, but you're not gonna know for sure. There will be something. I think there'll be something that will click and make me go, "Oh, it's this." But so far, I haven't seen it. And it may have already been in earlier episodes of season 2. It might have even been in this episode. But so far, nothing I have seen has really made me click on to what I think is happening. I'm at a bit of a loss. So without further ado, I'm going to go watch episode 12, which is the final episode of season 2. And I'm scared. I am a bit scared because that Titan that killed Erin's mom is back. So we're going to see how that goes. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to turn on all notifications for this channel. And until next time, bye.